everyone, Wendy Antonucci here, and I am working with Paper House Productions today, and I'm going to make a boy layout. Now, in my layout, I have, well, to start with, I have my pictures. Now, I've already found a way to arrange my pictures and my title, which I chose from these here. I've already put together this, and I've actually just taped it down with Scotch tape so I can move it around. But this is the basis of all my layouts. This is my photo block. I have a title. Sometimes it's just a sentiment or a place to write, but I've always start with this. Now, I like to use a lot of pictures. It's always been, sometimes I will scrap one picture, but a lot of times I have multiple pictures. So I came up with an arrangement that I felt worked for this. And what I want to talk about today is building everything around a theme. My theme here is the campfire memories. This was, my son went to camp. This was his cabin, the one that does the camp. So since I based it around campfire memories, I wanted to set my pictures up so it looked like we were gathered around the campfire. And you would do that in a semicircle situation, which is what I've done here. Have I used this setup before with my pictures? Probably not. But for this story and campfire, camping, it went perfectly. The next thing I do, once I have my photo block and know the theme of my page, I begin to look for pages that I can put this on, like a background. The first one I tried was this wood, and I thought it would look great. It would go with the wood on a campfire, but it was a little bit dark, so I wasn't real pleased with that. The next one I tried was this page, and I loved how this picture blended right into the paper, but this doesn't really tell me about campfire memories. It's a beautiful picture. It looks very similar to the camp he was at, but it doesn't really talk about my theme. It looks great with it, and it could have if I had picked a different card here, such as, let me see here, maybe take a hike. That would have maybe worked really well with this. Or maybe even roughing it, or happy camper, just something else. But because I'm talking about campfire memories, this page didn't quite tell my story. The next one I tried was this, and this is the one that I really like. It is still dark, so this kind of blends in a little bit, but campfire memories, nighttime sky, it builds on my theme. I have just made my page stronger and more telling a bigger story, a more important story, because I have married all of those elements together. Even if you were writing a story, you would want to have a setting that matches your story, and hence that is what I chose to do here. The next thing I wanted to do is I need to get some color in here. I have my photo block, I picked a background page, but I need some color because right now it's fine. You could actually just put a little bit here, maybe some journaling or a bigger title or more title, and a few embellishments, and this could be a good layout. This is, you've told your story and you're working with your pictures, you've gotten your memories down, it's great. But what I want to do is I want to take it to the next level, and to do that I want to actually bring in some colors that are going to pop. There's not a lot of color in here. There's some blue, there's some orange, and there's some red. So I don't really have to deal with anything on the picture per se. I was looking at this and I really love that the orange, and I love that it pulled it up. But here it's a little bit overwhelming. So I could cut a smaller piece maybe and tuck it behind. Since I was thinking of the orange and I really liked that, and I tried some other ones, you can see this, it would work. You'd have to cut a little piece, but it's not quite what I was looking for. And I want to have plenty of room to tell my story on this page. I thought maybe the green, because that other page with the, looks so neat with that. But while it looks good here, it's really not helping this background that I got or this story. So I didn't feel that. But when I turned it over, I realized I have this orange tint. And no, they didn't actually stay in tents, they were in cabins, but it tells more of the story. It would bring that orange in, and it would bring more of my theme in. So what I did is I fussy cut that out right here. I did not go into detail down here because I wasn't quite sure yet. I don't want life is better when you're camping, so I'm going to kind of try to hide that. And this is what I came up with. Kind of move it around here a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe just let this hang off the page a little bit. And what do you think? I've got that orange in there. You can see it's the tent, so it talks about, it furthers our campfire memories. I'm just going to cut that off a little bit. That green is right there with the tree, so it's not real, it doesn't distract, I don't believe. And I kind of like that. You can see now that I have the orange. It also makes it feel like it's a little bit more grounded on the page. And this tent does not feel funny with the nighttime theme we're going for. Now, if you'll notice, I did leave these triangles on there. I thought about covering them up, but what I discovered is I actually really like them, and I can use them to further tell my story, because what I chose to do was I cut out some more of these. So let me gather these up, and they are kind of little. I chose to bring my reader's eyes down into the page. I also chose to set up a strong vertical line. I don't want it just to end there because there's nothing going on down here. So I want to continue it as best as I can. I'm not real great at lining things up. And so here we go. That's probably enough because that looks like it'll run off the page otherwise. So now I have a strong vertical line going, and I've kind of built my page around that axis, which helps to ground your page and give it more interest and help your eyes know where to go. So I really like this. I'm really happy with where we're headed so far. Now, once you've cut all these pieces out, I was left with this. And I started thinking, I wonder if I could use this for something. So I cut this out, and what I was thinking was down here, kind of cut this out. I'm not sure yet. I have to look at that some more, but I want to glue this down before I lose the placement. But check this out. I put this on the back of that page. It's this gray one. Doesn't that look really neat? And then you could have a large picture down here. My other son went to camp too, and I thought I could actually build his layout on this page. I would continue cutting these out, but just those arrows and the kind of the 3D effect, I thought that looked really neat. So don't ever throw away your scraps. You can always use them for something. It's just a matter of what. All right, so I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to glue these things down, and then we'll look for our next step. All right, I've placed everything down and trimmed up the sides so you can see how it's set up now. I did remove these for a minute because I want to look at this other piece of paper, but here's where we're at. Okay, and well, let me put these back for a second. What I want to encourage you is, if you are a beginner scrapbooker, memory keeper, and you're just not real sure and you don't really want to clutter things up and you just don't really know how this goes yet, this is an amazing page. You have grounded your pictures. You have pictures, you have a title or a sentiment, whichever you want to use it for. You can easily add a few elements, some stickers, some die cuts, whatever, to dress it up, and write your story. And you have just created an amazing page. This is wonderful. There is nothing that is lacking on this. It is designed well. So that might be where you're stopping. But I want to take it one more step. Now, I mentioned putting this down here. I am having a hard time visualizing this. So I was thinking it would kind of look like that. I would have to trim it out. And I don't know, it might be the blue that's taking away from it, but I'm just not feeling like this is the right touch. This kind of looks, well, you can tell it's just sunshiny. So I don't think this is going to build on my theme. It would work, it would look great, but I don't think it's helping my theme any. And that's what I'm really discussing today. The other thing I found was, let's see here, this is on the one side, it's the Call of the Wild. I love this tree over here, and I was actually thinking about, I wonder if I was to fussy cut out this tree. Would it look good? Would it help anything? Now, I want to use this one, but this one's the side that I can look at. You can tell if I put this on here, there's kind of an issue that the tree is stuck out in the middle. It would be grounded on this page, but it's kind of just floating there. If I put it over here, that might help, or maybe over here, but I am not convinced that is telling my story about Campfire Memories. I really like it. I like the idea that it would tell more of my camping story, but with the theme I chose, I'm not sure that's the way I want to go. Alrighty, so I have some pieces ready to go to add in a little bit more. I'm still looking at this orange to see if I need a little bit more. Let's see here. Just trying it out places. You could put some down here. You could put some up here somewhere, but that's up there. So I'm not sure that's the best choice anymore. I love this, and I thought about just cutting out this design and kind of having my picture sit on it like a border. And I think that would probably be great. I might not even need to fussy cut it. Just a strip of this would look great all the way across. My problem with that is it's my only wood piece. So while I really like that, I'm going to hold off for a minute and see if I can come up with another option. I think that would look really nice. You can see right there. So I might have to sacrifice this piece of wood for the vision. Now, here are a few other options. I need to add some journaling. I'm thinking down here to kind of pull it this way. Oh, don't want to forget that I have these little arrows on there also. All right, well, the video was running, or I thought was running, and you weren't with me. I am very sorry. So what I've done is I added in a journaling sticker. It came off of this page here, and I added it right here. It furthers that, that axis. It gives that feel of grounding it. The other thing I chose to do, I had been looking at this piece of paper for right here, but once I put this in, it didn't quite fit. So what I chose then was this sticker, and I put it right here. I would have liked to have continued it all the way over, but there was a gap. There was too much paper showing, so I just stepped it up so it looks like a step, and that was fine with me, no big deal. The next thing I went to was the 3D stickers. I chose to put this marshmallow stick on there because campfire, you think about roasting marshmallows. I chose to use the lantern because it's nighttime. Well, sometimes. Some of the time they were there was nighttime. I also want to put this little leaf here. It was a 3D leaf, but because I already have a 3D piece, I actually took the foam off, and I'm just going to add some glue. So that I can tuck it underneath and form layers. Okay, so it gives a little bit more interest. If you remember, there was a saying right there on the tent, and I knew that, and I wasn't able to cover it all with a picture, so I chose a sleeping bag to cover that up, and it furthers the orange. Now, I do have these in a circle, kind of bunched together, but it helps draw your eyes around, so you're kind of coming down and around, which is fine with me. You can add some items up here if you want. I'm not seeing any that I really need. I could put this in here, but we already have that up there, and then we'd have a group of green and a group of orange, and it's kind of conflicting. So if anything, I want to try to get orange down here. I see this, but I'm not sure. I don't think I want that down here. It doesn't really help my page. All right, so those are the 3D stickers. The other thing that I found were the stick-on pockets. Now these are for your planner, but I like to use anything. What I found was, I found this wood piece, and I really like it, but it doesn't, I can't get it to fit in here real well. I could cut it some more, but I'm just not liking how it fits. I thought about up here also, but again, I'm just not feeling that one. I did find these trees, so I thought I could trim them out and maybe put them up there or down here. So I'm going to fussy cut those. I normally use a Fiskar finger knife, but I don't have my mat out right now, so I'm just going to kind of trim these up. These are my Cutter Bee scissors, which I've had for years, and they do a really great job. It's just easier for me to use my finger knife when I'm trimming details. So for now, you get the idea. So I think that'll look really nice there. The other one I found was this little bear, and I really like that. Again, I could leave it on this, but I wasn't really, I don't like that, so I chose to cut it out, and I thought that right there looks amazing and kind of tells about these boys. So I'm thinking maybe I'll combine these two. So I have to work on that a little bit more, but I need to trim that out. Okay, so there we go. There's some other things you can use. I believe in using anything in my pages. It doesn't bother me where it's come from. I could have also just taken this off the clip to use it too, or I could use this. These I think are too small, and I don't really want to stick one on my picture. I do like the idea of taking that off, so I might come back to that. All right, we also have these Life Organized stickers, and I just wanted to look real quick. I like that it's actually cut out, but we've already established that, so. There's some binoculars that might be, actually I'm gonna just lay it. I like it here, there, just kind of on the bed. You can see now I have a dark that goes all the way around. I've created a visual triangle. And also you can see the green here, the green with the trees, and the green on the leaf creates one that way also. All right, anything else in here? And while these are planner stickers, they work fine. There's no reason not to use them. For now, I think that's all I'm going to use because there's a few other things I want to try in here. We also have these small stickers, but I think I want some bigger elements. Okay, so I'm pretty much done right now. I do need to add my journaling. I need to trim these out a little bit more, but I'm pretty happy with this. I was very excited to be sent these inks by Colorbox. I've got the black, this rainbow one, and rose gold. And I actually want to use this to create some more journaling, some more title, sentiment. I'm not sure exactly yet. What I've picked out is I have, if you never try, you'll never know just what you're worth. And I thought about putting it in this speech bubble. So what I'm thinking about is grabbing some white scrap paper. As you can see, my clouds have come out of there before. And I think I'm going to stamp these in there. I also have all these stars, which would look really great with that yellow or even a little bit of orange. So that's another option. I'll have to try that in a minute. The other thing I was looking at is using these stamps from Elle's Studio to tell the story. The highlight and then of this adventure. So I kind of like that, but I don't know how much more I can get on here. So let me clean this up. I'm going to fussy cut these and write my journaling, and we'll be back and we'll do some stamping with Colorbox. All right, and here we are. Everything is down. I've assemble these right here. Don't forget the pockets actually are adhesive, which makes them difficult to cut through because of the plastic, but they will stick like a sticker. So here's my page. Again, it is done. There is nothing that needs to go on here. Just add your journaling in and you're good to go. I want to take it one step farther. As I mentioned, I want to stamp these sentiments on here. This is actually from, the stamp set is from Scraptastic Club, which is no longer in business. But I love their stamps, so I've held on to these things. Okay, so there is the speech bubble. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it this way. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp right here. Okay, I'm going to try that one more time, see if I can get a little bit better image. There we go. Okay, now you can see it is extremely juicy. I've never seen a stamp set that's juicy, so be careful. The other thing is, this is not a great stamp set. Like I said, I love it. It works great, but the stamps are not real tall, so it's hard. It kind of sinks down in, as you saw on there. All right, so here is the sentiment that I'm thinking I want to use, and again, I'm going to stamp it this way because that worked a little bit better. Now, it does not fit in there, so I'm going to actually put it down here. Okay. I could stamp it on here, but then I won't have room to do my journaling. So I'm going to leave it there for a moment. Okay, so that's the black one. So like I said, it's extremely juicy. You can see it's just very wet. It doesn't smear though. So I really like that. That's amazing. It doesn't smear at all, so that's great. Now I want to show you a different stamp set to see how this one works. Alrighty, so highlight of today, of this week. Actually, these might be nice to stamp in this yellow color. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and, this is actually my favorite stamping block, this little tiny thing. I'm going to stick this star on there because I could easily cut that out, where some of the other ones I might not be able to. Alright, now, couple things here. You can actually stamp, like if you kind of want it a few colors, like I don't mind having a little bit of orange in there. I think it would actually look nice. So you can just kind of stamp right there. And again, I'm going to stamp right on here because it won't show on my dark paper. See? I love that it kind of has all that dimension on it. So I'm going to just do a few more so I can cut these out. And now if you notice, this one you can kind of see the line. What I'm actually doing, and no, I am not a stamper, so this might be horrible, but I want the majority of my star in the yellow, so I'm stamping a little bit of the orange, and then I'm just kind of twisting it a little bit both ways, not hard, just a little bit, and not pressing real hard, so that kind of gives it a, I think it's an ombre look. So I really like that. The other thing which I thought was really cool with these, and hopefully I don't make a mess, is, let me see, I tried this before. Down here, you push on these, so I'm going to just pop it up, and then you can grab it on either side. So you have the side hand holder things, and you have the one underneath, so that you can actually dab it on. And let me go ahead and stamp that too. So I really like that. As long as you hold here and here, it's really not messy. The first time I made a mess, I will be quite honest there. Made a horrible mess. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these out for now and also clean up my stamps. I like to use baby wipes, tiny wipes. I keep a pack of these in my scrapbook room, and I can just wipe it and dab it, and it works great, because otherwise I might not clean them. So this is a really good option for me. And this is just like that, and then I'll let them dry a little bit. But it gets all the color off and cleans up the stamps really well. And this one I probably shouldn't have let sit for so long. Okay, so let me cut some of these out and then we'll talk about where we're gonna put them. All right, I wanted to try one more thing with the color box ink. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my star again and some gold tinsel. This is Ranger's Letter It. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp my star, same as I did before. Put that down. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some embossing powder on it. Clean this mess up. Grab my heat gun. And melt it down. And it works perfectly. Now, because I was using a colored ink, I should have picked a clear embossing, which I didn't. But anyway, you get the idea. So you can use these to emboss with also. So let me show you where we're at. I've placed these here. Now, I don't know if I want to add in the gold because that'll go with the bear down here. And I'm not going to stamp the... I'm not going to heat emboss on my layout because I don't want it to warp. So I'm going to go ahead and get these down. You could easily, but I don't like that at all. I thought this looked a lot like Fire. Again, to go with our Campfire memories. You can see that my whole page is built around a theme. Oftentimes we get such pretty products, it's easy to just stick them down wherever. But if you can choose ones that are more appropriate to your theme, then you build a stronger layout. It doesn't mean that you can't use those fun things. I use pink on my boy pages all the time, don't have a problem with that. It just means being more deliberate about your choices. So let me get my mat out of here so you can see this a little bit better. I do still need to add in my journaling, which I will do. And I will add in the year once I find some stickers to do that with. Actually, I might stamp it right here, but then I'll have to find a stamp. Okay, so here is my layout. I love the little touch. They weren't needed on the layout, but doesn't it just really make it pop? So I love the touch of this. I also did cut this out. It does not fit on my speech bubble at all. I should have known that. And I think I'm probably just going to stick that. I think I like that right there, actually. Yeah. Okay. So there you have it. Thank you, Colorbox, for the lovely products that you sent me. They're a ton of fun to play with. And I will definitely use them many more times. And thank you, Paper House Productions, for some great products. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments, and I'd be glad to answer them. Thanks for joining me. Bye.